Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, or welcome to this new video / emergency update, whatever you want to call it, on Layer or Solayer. If you're new to the channel, by the way, excuse the audio. This is not my normal audio settings, but I don't have access to my normal audio setup. But we're going to be talking about Layer or Solayer, as some of you might know it as, which this morning or at the end of the Asian session has started to fall. Now, in general, this crash was to be expected. I've talked about this for and this is the 12-hour time frame, by the way, so this quite zooms out. I've talked about this very often already on X, but also in previous videos I did on Layer. The entire rally that we had right here seemed to be very, very manipulated, and it seemed like a lot of the airdrops or airdropped supply got out right here, and it feels like a bit of a similar setup as Mantra or Ohm, even though I think Layer still has a bit of a chance to bounce back up, and I don't think it's going to be as severe as that. Because if you take a look at Solayer and you take a look at down the line, first of all, it's a project that's a little bit bigger. It has a bit more social attention already, which Mantra almost had none of that, excluding the tight community around that. And then if you take a look at this, the investor and the core contributor lockups are until 2026, right? So that means that there's still an incentive to keep the price somewhat good. But outside of that, it does look to me like the supply was cornered. So the supply in general that was in hands of the public was quite low, and that some combination of the team with market makers have pushed the price up. Even though, like I said, there was some social attention, definitely not enough for a move. From the end of February until today of about a 5x, right? So this move in general was doomed to fail. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to keep on crashing, right? There's no one crash that's similar to another. We're not certain what's going on right now yet. This might just be a sell-off by the team, might just be a sell-off by someone who bought tokens OTC. We don't know. I mean, so as far as I know, not on the Solayer official account, not anywhere have we seen some sort of explanation for this price action, and some people are still calling it normal price action. I would go against that. But still, I'm not fully convinced that this crash is going to continue. And I'm definitely not convinced that this is an easy way to make money, right? Because first of all, I would actually say that it is most likely short term. Talking about the price action here, and I would have loved to talk about the fundamentals and tell you what has happened with Layer. But honestly, at this point of time, we don't know. And I'll keep you updated on that. If I have more information over the afternoon, I might make a new video then. Hopefully you did not hear that super loud alert that just went off on my computer for a potential coin. But we don't know what's going on, but we do know that right now we're in this previous liquidity zone towards $2, which is also a psychological support zone. And what you can see is that the funding rate for Layer is absolutely ridiculous. It's minus 16% on Binance, which means that if you are short, you're paying 16% on the position value every funding round, which at this point of time, I think every funding round is still 8 hours. So I think it's in the afternoon. It still takes a couple of hours, but they might switch that to 4 hours, do it minus 8% every 4 hours. It's a possibility, but that means that if you're short, you will have to pay a lot of funding fees to keep this open, which is a reason to close off. Then we have this major liquidity zone right here at $2. Next one, by the way, would be right here at 1.4, 1.5. So could we drop down lower? Certainly, but those are the two main levels to wait for. And well, buy, it's gambling, but potentially buy, or at least to take profits if you're short. And on the other side, with minus 16%, that's also an incentive to go long. Because that means you can lose 16% over the position value until the next funding rate and still be in profit, right? So then the price can drop down much lower, and if you get those funding fees realized, you're still good, right? So therefore, I'd say either from $2, if $2 is able to hold right here on the 4-hour time frame, I'd say this is the bottom, and we might have one more liquidity spike down, but then we can hunt some stops towards 2.45, 2.6. Do I think we'll reach those highs again? I think it's going to be very difficult. Personally, I'd say no at this point of time. And if we're unable to hold $2 and 1.99, 1.98 on the 4-hour time frame, we're going down to 1.4, 1.5, where we have even more liquidity. So keep your eyes on those two levels. Keep your eyes on the closest on the 1-hour time frame. But trading this, like I said, it's closer to gambling than actual trading. So as long as you know that, as long as you're aware of the funding fees, then be my guest, but be aware of those. All right, so that's what I think you need to know for now. That's all the information I have for now. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next videos, and bye.